Hey everyone, it's Julianne here for Trinity Stamps and welcome back. This week I'm going to be showing you how I created this rainbow striped card. And the supplies I'm going to be using today to create this card include the Love You Bunches stamp set as well as the coordinating dies, the 6x9 slimline striped stencil set, the Sentiment for Almost Everything stamp set, as well as the Trinity blending bar, my Trinity blending brushes, and a variety of different Distress Oxide inks, including Picked Raspberry, Candied Apple, Squeezed Lemonade, Carved Pumpkin, Twisted Citron, Cracked Pistachio, Salty Ocean, and Wilted Violet. To start out my card today, I'm going to start by working on my background first, and for that I'm going to be using the 6x9 slimline striped stencil set to do some ink blending using the Distress Oxide colors that I showed you earlier in rainbow order. I'm going to start out by temporarily adhering my stencil down to my work surface as well as my background panel, which is some Bristol Smooth watercolor paper that I trimmed down to A2 size. And I'm going to be temporarily adhering that down using some washi tape. Once I have that adhered down, I'm then going to start my ink blending, starting at the top of my background panel with that Picked Raspberry. And for each color, I'm just going to be adding that certain color to one of the stripes. So to make sure that the ink doesn't go outside that stripe, I'm going to be using some additional washi tape to mask off the stripe above and below the stripe that I'm working on. Once I have that first stripe done, I'm then going to continue my ink blending all the way down my background panel in rainbow order, as I mentioned earlier. And for all of my ink blending, I am going to be using my Trinity blending brushes. Once I have all of my ink blending done, I'm going to be removing all of that washi tape as well as that 6x9 striped stencil in order to reveal my ink blended background that I've created. Next, I'm going to start working on the rest of my card, and for that I'm going to be starting out by stamping the large floral that's included in the Love You Bunches stamp set, and I'm going to be stamping that image down twice in order to get a solid black outline on some white cardstock using some Memento Tuxedo black ink. Next, I'm going to be using the coordinating die set to die cut out my stamped image. And off camera, I did do some additional die cutting where I used the coordinating die and I ran it through my die cutting machine, but this time I did it with some black cardstock. I ran that through my die cutting machine twice using that black cardstock, and I'm going to be adhering both of those black cardstock die cuts as well as my stamped floral image together and I'm going to be adhering all of them together using some liquid adhesive. This is going to give my image that little bit of added dimension to help it stand out from my busy background. The next step in my card was to add a sentiment. I'm going to be using the Hello sentiment that's found in the Love You Bunches stamp set, as well as the I Miss You sentiment from the A Sentiment for Almost Everything stamp set. And I'm going to be stamping both of those sentiments directly onto my background using some more of that Memento Tuxedo Black ink. Once I have both of those sentiments all stamped out and ready to go, it was then time for me to start working on assembling the rest of my card together. I'm going to be starting off by adding some more of that liquid adhesive behind my stamped image, and I'm going to be adhering that directly down to my ink blended background, making sure to center it around my stamped sentiments. Now once I have that image all adhered, I'm then going to be trimming off any excess that might be hanging off my background using a pair of scissors. Once I have all that excess trimmed off, I'm then going to be adhering my background down to a black card base using some foam adhesive. And that's going to give my card even more dimension as well. The final step in completing my card today is I am going to be scattering a few clear sequins throughout my background, adhering them down using some more of that liquid adhesive, and that's going to finish off my rainbow striped card for today. I want to thank you all so much for stopping by and spending some time with me. If you liked this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, as well as subscribe for even more card making ideas. If you are interested in any of the supplies I used today, they will all be listed and linked down below in the description box. And as always, I hope you have a wonderful day and happy crafting!